Okay, I've given you an overview of what Doctopus can do. Now I'm going to give you a specific example of how I might use this in a class. So let's say this is a literature class and we are reading the Odyssey. I want for one of the projects to have groups of 3 where each student is doing a different task that ultimately ends up in a presentation to the class. For each one of these different tasks, I've created a template that I want to share with each member of the group. So I'll explain this with this diagram. So if we look here, I have 3 templates that I want to share with each group member. I've got a character inference template that I made as a spreadsheet. I have an attributes of character template that I made as a doc, and then I have a 5-slide presentation template. Now, as I was saying earlier, Google Docs can share out docs, spreadsheets, presentations, and drawings. However, currently the sharing of the drawing function is not working with Doctopus. Each of these templates is going to be shared with each group, group 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And within this group, I want student 1 to have template A, student 2 to have template B, and student 3 to have template C. Same thing repeated for each of these different groups. So now let's make this happen. I come over here into my drive and I will go to my Doctopus folder. Notice that I have each template in here. So I have the attributes of character template, I have my character inference template, and then I have my presentation template. I've also created a rubric for the project, and we'll talk about rubric once I've explained how to use Doctopus. So now I click on my character project spreadsheet. This would be, if you looked at my earlier tutorial on how to quickly collect student emails and have them go into a spreadsheet, one of the nice things about that is that you then have a spreadsheet where you can simply copy and paste those emails. So I have my email column, my student name column, my group name, so you can see that I can already predetermine which group each student is going to be in, and that's more a reminder for me, but also something that I want to put into an email to the students. And then this flag column designates which type of document I want with each different student. Now, if the Doctopus script is not, if you're not using a spreadsheet where Doctopus is already added to it, go into Tools, click on Script Gallery, and you can search for Doctopus. And you will find this version here, and you can simply install it. I've already installed it, so I'm going to click on the first one, Setup. Now you notice as soon as I do setup, it will automatically create these other rows, E, F, G, H. And so the type that I'm talking about is individual differentiated. So this will allow me to give different individuals in the class a different template. I want the whole class to have no access, but I want the individual student to be able to edit that template. Again, I maintain ownership of the document, therefore I can grant access or deny access to that student at any time. But they are able to edit it. Okay, so I don't want editors to be able to change sharing permissions. My information will be found on sheet 1. The column contains 2 emails. It's called student email, and then where I designate the type of template is in the flag category. So I'm going to save my settings. And now I'm going to go on to step 2. Okay, so for the first one, we'll have the character inference. Here we'll have the attributes, and then finally student 3 in the group will have the character presentation. And then if it's not already selected, you'll see that you have a list of all your folders in Google Drive to choose from. But you can see here that that was in my Doctopus folder, so I'll save those settings. I'll go on to step 3, where I can choose a destination for where I want them to go. For me, I'm going to have them end up back in that Doctopus folder. And you can either choose a folder pre-created, or you can have the Doctopus script create a folder for you, and you can call it whatever you'd like. Now you'll see here, the reason why I have that group name column is that these items, $ group name, $ student name, etc., it picks up the associated number or name or email for that column. So it will be named for each student. I want them to notify editors immediately, therefore I'll send them an email. It'll pick up that email from the student email column, and then the subject, I want it to say group, and then it could be 1, 2, or 3 in this case, and they'll say character project assignment. I've written this email, hello, and this will insert the student name. I've shared a document with you, only you have access. If you have any questions, please let me know. And now I'm going to save these settings. So we can see here as I double check, so it's going to say subject group 1, and it's going to give it the project assignment. In the body it will say, it'll give the link to the document, and it'll say hello student name. I've shared these documents with you. If you have any questions, please ask. So now I just click run, copy, and okay, so we can see now that Doctopus has run through the whole script. I have a link to each student's document. Keep in mind again that I maintain ownership, and it was named both by the student name and the group that that student is in. So for example, if I want to look at the document that student.senior is being able to edit, I can click on this. I can see the progress that student.senior is making, and I can quickly navigate to Andrew as well and see how Andrew is doing on the presentation. Now we'll see there are a few more options in Doctopus. I was saying that this flag category is nice because I can take individual students on and off their documents. I can also click on embargo for grading. So when it comes time to make sure that all students don't have access to the document, I can click on embargo. We'll see that in this last edited it'll say locked for grading. If I want to re-enable, I can unembargo, and it will grant access again. Notice that again, if I want to do just an individual student, I can use excused, and now this student will not be able to access the document. Okay, I can also send an email, and you'll notice that in this email I can set again the email to pick up any of these predetermined columns. So in this category here, the $ link is the name of the document. If I were to put a grade in column H, that would show up here. If I were to write any feedback, it would show up right there. And this will send emails to all student email. Alright, so that is step 1 of using the Doctopus script.